Hey guys, we're having a little bit of a technical difficulty, so hang tight for a minute because I have a feeling that this may not record to the right place. And Ed, let me grab you. But I think we could just rip it and move it around, so we should be fine. I don't want to keep you guys waiting for too much longer. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the My Lead System Pro Tuesday. Super cool hangout of rock stars, or whatever we call it. My name is Diane Hochman. I'm an L6 leader here at My Lead System Pro. I'm bringing over a special guest, and I also want to tell my buddy JP that I was able to start this. And hang on one second. Okay, give me 1 second, guys. I'm sorry, but you know, the worst thing that happens when you're around Hochman too much is that everything starts to go wiki wacky. It's like I have a magnetic field that it's like, and anybody who's worked with me for any period of time, apparently, though there were some problems yesterday, so I'm just gonna handle it and we'll figure it out. In the worst case scenario, I say something incredibly profound and it is not recorded, but it should be going live somewhere. It's either on the MLSP channel, my channel, it's somewhere, Ed, and that's all that matters. Guys, I want to introduce you. So excited. We're going to do the wave. Get ready to do the wave because we have our newest L4 leader in the house, Ed Zimbardi. Oh! Do the wave. Do the wave, everybody. Hey, Ed, how long did it take you to get to L4?
Actively working about 2 months and change.
Yeah. He did it quick, guys.
Right?
He did it quick.
My wife broke her ankle, and
Yeah. So he's been here. You've been here about 4 months, but you had like catastrophe in the middle, some family stuff and everything. So a huge accomplishment, incredible. But guys, if you haven't met Ed before, hopefully a lot of you guys have, go find him over on Facebook and stuff. Ed's a many moon, Larry just walked in. Hi, Larry. Many moon professional in the home business industry. It was really great when we got to know each other. He started telling me about what he used to do. And I was like, I was on all your webinars. Well, there weren't webinars back then. On your calls, whatever they were.
When we did conference calls, right?
Yep. And Ed from behind the scenes sold me a bunch of stuff back in the day, which I still have all hanging around. So I went through all that stuff. So master trainer, professional in the industry. So I'm really excited to have you here today. I thought it'd be fun if we just hang out and go through. I have some great topics for today, but I want to see, we have some other two. We had new people move up to L4. Aaron Birch just did. We have so much going on. So it's pretty exciting. If you're a guest here today, we have pretty much the most amazing marketing community out there. We've been going for 8 years strong. And we teach all aspects of home and small business marketing, blogging, creating funnels and capture pages, list management, customer and prospect management, communication skills, et cetera, et cetera. So we do the do. If you own a home or small business and you're looking to become a professional marketer, My Lead System Pro would be the place for you. And of course, you can check us out very simple at MLSP.com or myleadsystempro.com. I'll push a link in a little bit. We have some great test drive offers and things. If you want to come in and kick the tires, check it out. We'd love to have you. And also, before we get into the topic today, I just want to do a little housekeeping. Tomorrow night, we have a really big webinar. We have industry great Ray Higdon. He's going to come on. And what I like about what we're doing tomorrow night, Ed, and you were a pioneer in this field before we even called it attraction marketing. Ray's going to be teaching us about how to make money even when our prospects say no. How to make money on a larger percentage of our calls. He's going to teach us prospecting, recruiting mechanisms and tips and tricks from his many years of experience that's going to make your business easier. Now, some of you guys might be thinking, well, that's great, but I'm not in network marketing. It doesn't matter because guess what? In pretty much any business you're in, you have to get the customer and you have to close the deal. And learning to think differently, and that's really what we're going to be doing tomorrow night, is we're going to be learning to think differently about the way we approach our businesses. That's the big trick. So let me give out that link. I'm going to put it in the chat. It's weekly, just so you guys have it though. It's weekly marketing webinars.org. Weekly marketing webinars. I'm just seeing, see, it was typoed. I knew it, Ed, I knew it.
Diane, let me add this real quick. You know, so many people who get into network marketing have leaders within their company that are promoting systems and tools and resources. So when people don't end up, when your prospect doesn't end up getting involved with your primary MLM, MLSP is the premier platform for those people to be able to earn some type of affiliate commission. That's what really attracted me to the platform.
Yeah. You know, and what's cool is when you build relationships with people out in the marketplace, and Ed, I would say this is true of us, right? You always, when you're attracted to one another, maybe the timing isn't right to do a major project together yet, but what happens is over time, people magnetically come together. So when you're able to have somebody, you know, on your email list, which I teach a lot about, just wrapped up a course on email list management, whether you're able to have somebody purchase a product from you, an info product or something else, when you're able to build a relationship and keep that relationship over time, the chances of you working together are inevitable. And that's a big part of why you see some people, it seems like so simple for them to, you know, recruit on demand. It's so simple for them to send out a letter and make thousands of dollars. It's so simple. It's not that it's so simple. It's just that they've focused in on relationships over time. They've accumulated them. And, you know, Ray's going to walk us through new ways of thinking and approaching so that we can have cash flow today and long-term residual for tomorrow. And that's really what we're after. And guys, when I say residual income, it could be from a network marketing company, but it also could be from your repeat customers that come into your store, your business, whatever, the referrals, etc. It's that business that happens on its own. And it doesn't just happen on its own. It's a way of thinking that causes that repetitive business to happen. And that's really what we're going to be getting into. So I want to make sure each and every one of you registers for this. Bring some friends down. It's going to be outstanding. Ray's stuff is always good. But what I like best about Higdon, if you guys haven't met him yet, I've known Ray for many, many, many moons. I like to pick on Ray. And I think that we all should get together tomorrow night and heckle him. In fact, maybe I'll come up with a phrase for the night. So every time they turn on the chat, although they usually can't turn on the chat when he's talking because so many people show up, but we could do something fun. I don't know what it will be, but I'll come up with something tomorrow. You guys watch my stuff tomorrow. We'll have a heckle fest. We'll have a good time.
That'll be fun. Yep.
One of the best senses of humor in the industry by far. The guy is never afraid to have a good time. And that's, you know, what I love about him. He's a consummate professional, but he's funny. He's a funny dude.
And he'll make fun of himself too.
Oh, he always does. That's why I love it. You can really have a good time. So, you know, and the other thing too, tomorrow night, you know, hook up with the person that invited you here. Make sure you're talking to them during the event. I personally never come to a Wednesday night webinar without being connected either with my team or some prospects or something, because we're having fun during the webinar. So we're listening to the content, but we're also going, oh, wow, that was a great point, or we're joking around, or we're, you know, just kind of talking about stuff, you know, about what's going on. So it's really kind of fun. It's like being on Twitter during the Oscars and you can talk about your experience. The same thing here, whether you're hooked up on Skype or Facebook Messenger or something, or in a Facebook group, connect up with the person that invited you here tomorrow night when you get on. It's a lot of fun. And if Ray says something goofy, you can laugh. And, you know, right now, maybe some of you are doing that behind my back, you know, saying, oh, Hochman looks goofy today, or Hochman's this or that. Now, one other thing, Ed, my friend Duke Romke, who I think you've seen, I don't know if you've gotten to know Duke that well, who, by the way, for those of you that may not, that know Duke, he's expecting a baby, which we're pretty excited about.
Awesome.
Pretty excited about that. I've known Duke since before he was married and everything. So it's like my Dukey's having a baby. I'm very excited. But Duke, when I said today's topic is 7 secrets to become insanely attractive in the marketplace. So he thought we were going to talk about how to take selfies and go like this, Ed, or whatever that face is that the girls make, you know. You know, he thought we were going to, you know, talk about makeup tips, and he was giving me a hard time. So there will be no makeup. Somebody just shot that, right? There will be no makeup tips, no hairstyling tips. Although Ed did mention that he thought a little lipstick would be good for us. I didn't bring mine down. Did you bring yours?
Let me get Brenda's.
Not so much. So guys, my claim to fame, I'm not the best blogger. I'm not the best funnel builder. I'm not the best at a lot of things. I'm a pretty good copywriter. I'll say that.
Yes, you are.
You know, I'll say what I'm good at. I'm not the best at a lot of things, but one thing I'm good at is understanding attraction and what I call human physics, the psychology behind attraction, what causes people. In physics, we learned an object in motion stays in motion, and what makes things attract and repel and all that other stuff. Not that I ever took it in high school or college. I went as far away from it as I could. But that's what physics is. And humans, we have a physics to us as well. And in marketing, we are able to learn certain things that will cause people to come towards us or behave in certain ways that will cause people to move away from us. And while we're busy, building the sites and building the list and building the blogs and all that other stuff, these are some things today that we can do right now that will cause people to respond to you in a completely different way. So I'm going to turn on the Q&A. If you need to write to me personally with a question or something, please don't do your highs in there and stuff like that. That's what the chat's for. But if you have a question, want to add something, want me to give a shout out or, mention something that you're talking about or whatever, feel free to put it in the Q&A. I'll only see it. Ed won't even see it. So you can feel free to make fun of him in the Q&A. I will know. And if it's really good, I will read it out loud. No, I'm kidding. So let's start from there. And again, I would take notes on these, because these are the building blocks to your business, and they apply to anything that you're doing. Whether it doesn't matter what social media platform you're on. It doesn't matter whether this is in person or online. These things are going to make people respond to you much stronger. And Ed, what I told Ed before we got on is, Ed has more experience than me in a lot of ways in traditional marketing. So I said, feel free to jump in, agree, disagree. If I left one out, we're going to pull on it. Now he's an L4, and no doubt he'll be moved up into the leadership group shortly. He just doesn't qualify yet because he hasn't been here long enough. He's outperformed so many people. He hasn't been here long enough to qualify to get in the door of the leadership group. So I have no doubt next quarter we'll see him up there. But now we're going to start working him. We're going to suck his brains out of his head. So that's what's going down. So the first one, Ed, my mentor called it the language of kings. And I recently had some people asking me to talk about this. I did talk about it in my course called the Guru Code, which we did through My Lead System Pro, not available right now. I'll bring it back out at some point. But the whole first chapter, the whole first unit of the course was about the language of kings. And here's what that means. We cannot complain, bellyache, cajole, criticize, etc. We need to behave like we're a king or a queen when we're out on the internet. I watch people all day long. They jump on the internet and they whine and they complain and they, there's some people that it just seems like there's somebody sick every single day of their life. And if their dog's not throwing up, their cat spit at something, or their kid did that, and it's all drama. So when you are speaking the language of kings and you make a commitment, you become the leader. You become the leader from now on. And you don't indulge in that anymore. That's for your spouse. That's for your best friend. Believe me, I drive Larry crazy. He'll come home and I'll be like, oh my God, you won't even believe it. Well, but my fingers will not type that.
Right.
My lips will not, those words will not fall from my lips anywhere. And I don't care if I think I'm with my buddies on the internet. I don't care if I think I'm in a private chat or something. If you want to be attractive, you need to learn to zip it, to zip your fingers too. Save that for your best and closest friends, not your marketing colleagues, and not on the internet and not in public.
So true.
So what do you think about that? I mean, you've seen that as a leader, we tend to not move up in the ranks, etc. if we're, complaining. The old saying was, complaints go up line and support goes down line. You never complain down line, but it's better to not complain at all.
Absolutely. Sometimes you got to vent. So like you said, vent to Larry or to Brenda, or you go online and you have something I want to do that, I'll talk to you directly. I'm certainly not going to talk about it with the team. Words are very powerful, and when they're very influential, persuasive, in good and bad. So if you're really looking to attract people, you must be positive. You must put your best foot forward, and that will attract like-minded people, the kind of people that you're looking for in your business. I had a good friend of mine recently had a total meltdown on Facebook. I mean, big time, melted down. And I literally had to pick up the phone and call him and say, stop. delete your posts. You can't put your personal stuff going on with your wife out there. You also are a business owner, a traditional business. You can't do this. People are going to check you out, and you just can't do it. So words are very powerful, good and bad. Focus on the good. It takes just as much energy to be negative or put negative words out there as it does to be positive. You get so much more back when you put positive words out than you do negative.
Big time. And Ed, I was saying before about the concept of physics. Positive energy is attractive, right? When we raise our energy 5%, I'm not talking about getting happy clappy and being fake or weird, because on the internet, you really can't do that anymore with social media. You can't be, because you're seeing the people every day now. It's not once a week or once a month. But raising your energy makes people come towards you. Yes. When our energy is low, it actually, whether it's conscious or not, what's interesting is people will go, well, if I write something kind of bummy, like something bad happened, I stubbed my toe, everybody will show up and say, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. And people will say, I get all these likes and comments when I do that. But the reality is that it's a very weak energy. And what you're doing is you're attracting the people that don't have anything else going on. They're not, they're not, I'm not going to say they're not the type of people that you want to recruit, because some of them are great people. They're just vibrating together at a very low level. And business doesn't happen at that level. When we're up here, business transactions, everything is happening. When we're down here, it becomes lethargic and it slows down. And again, for all you scientists out there, I'm sure there's an explanation, because when we get cold, right, we slow down. Our body starts to try to protect itself by slowing down. What negative is cold. And so what happens is business and everything will just come to a halt. So this sounds so simple, but it is a major key. People who feel that they're not getting, why are we echoing? People who feel that they're not getting the kind of progress that they want, not attracting who they want. If you look at your words, you like my microphone? It's my blue light special. Do I look cool? My microphone, they're saying it in the chat.
Yeah, it's blue light
cool.
special.
It's not the microphone, it's the boom, guys. You like the boom. See, it's not the microphone. Anybody can get a microphone. It's having this thing. It's cool, And me and Justin Barkley, we try to be cooler than one another. But Justin, for those of you that know him, he's always cooler because he's a DJ. So he's
Justin
got the
is awesome. Absolutely.
And I got the, it cost me like $1.29, or I don't mean $1.20, like $129 for the whole setup. There he is,
there
Justin. So Justin's getting a shout out. Let's go to number 2. And something that people have a lot of misconceptions about. Well, first of all, does everybody understand that? Does everybody agree? We have to monitor our words. We have to monitor what we're willing to say in public, because people want to follow a leader that is going to lead them. And if we're expressing, and I'm not saying that I don't have junk in my life, Ed doesn't have junk. I mean, Ed just had his wife had this huge, injury, and she's still battling it and everything else. And while we knew about it, it wasn't from a state of poor us. I mean, look, the guy made L4 while all of this was going on. He was running around taking the girls all over the place, doing the stuff that Brenda can't do. Look at him. He's like, the girls were everywhere, right? He was like, doing double daddy duty. And it's super awesome, that
about having no time. Oh my God.
Yeah. Right. But there was never an inch of poor me.
No.
And that's really what it is. It's the victim state. And I could do a whole nother call. In fact, maybe on the deep abyss. For those of you that are into it too, by the way, my monthly mastermind, let me put it in the chat, is this Thursday night. It's the deep abyss. thedeepabyss.com. Those are like off the hook. In fact, maybe we're getting to victim state this Thursday night or something. We'll see what washes over me.
I love it.
Check that out.
Phenomenal. Absolutely.
And we've had the Deep Abyss for like 20 months now. I mean, the thing is going strong. It's getting bigger every month. More and more people coming down. It's an amazing chance to spend a couple hours together with colleagues. I start the call off and give a topic and talk for a little bit, and then everybody talks. So really powerful. And what I always say to people is, if you think you need a place to come to do some mindset work, come for a month. It's $25. Big bucks, right, Ed? Big bucks. It's $25. And if you don't like it, cancel. We'll give you your $25 back, no problem. And what's cool is you can download all the archives. Maybe you don't like it. Maybe you do like it, but you don't want to pay for it right now or something. I don't care. I really want this information to get out. So come on down and come check it out, check out the archives, and be a part of the conversation. It's really cool. Right. So the next one And again, we're digging into this because there's misconceptions that people don't understand. You want to show your lifestyle. Okay. Lifestyle is attractive. A lot of people are caught in talking about, how much money they made or how much money you can made and all this other stuff, where lifestyle is extremely attractive. And you don't have to be making millions of dollars to show a great lifestyle. You don't need to be living the lifestyles of the rich and famous to show that your family went out to the movies this weekend, to show that you went swimming this weekend. In fact, I just watched a video today from my friend Rhonda Swan, and she lives in Balliad. I don't know if you know Rhonda. And she was like, the video was like her in her pool, and she literally puts the laptop by the side of the pool. I guess she's very careful not to splash. She has it all on a towel set up, and she works from the pool. And her daughter came out, and her husband's laying there over on the thing. And she was supposed to be teaching you a lesson, but they got caught up. And the next thing you know, it was like 10 minutes of chit chat about the dogs and the cats and the this. And it was extremely attractive because they really are living a dream lifestyle. And they're not, they make great money, but they're not like in Maseratis or yachts or cars. It's more like they're free. So for me and my family at the beginning, we were broke. So that when we were first able to go to a movie or get a pizza on Friday night or go to an amusement park, that was a big freaking deal, because people who don't have money understand how much going to the movies costs. People who do have money don't think about it that much. Going to the movies with a couple of kids and your family, I mean, it's like a freaking mortgage, $100
and change, easy.
Yep. So when you start showing the fun, the family time, the walks, the, going down to the lake, the stuff that you don't think is important that your business is starting to give you, it's going to change the way people perceive you. And it's not in a bragging way. It's more, isn't this cool? I want to share it with you way on social media. So what do you think? Because I know in the past we had a lot of Maserati pictures out there and stuff like that, but today it's kind of different.
Absolutely. I've always said that the millionaire, the lifestyle of a millionaire really begins with having the ability to set your own schedule. And it ties into what you just said, whether it's being able to do things with your kids that you normally wouldn't be able to do because you're working so many hours. So you start making a little bit of money and you're able to maybe cut back on that second job or the overtime for a lot of people. So you can live a millionaire lifestyle just by setting your own schedule, because most quote unquote millionaires who have the flashy cars, they're able to set their own schedule. They're not reporting somewhere. So I think that's a big part of it, is being able to set your own schedule. And I think that's the baseline for everyone who's seeking to earn a lot of money, is to figure out where you can in your life free up some of your time and enjoy life a little bit. Set your schedule and then put it out there in a positive way. That's going to help in that whole concept of attraction marketing.
Yeah, I think that's it. People are looking for freedom, and freedom is all that good stuff. Like me, whenever I go to get my nails done, Ed, because I'm all about the nails, let me tell you.
Also,
every time I go, they always say, "Are you off today?" And I'm like, and I always think it's so cute, because I'm like, no, I'm not off. I work my own schedule. When I go there's all different places that I go, and they always ask me, "Are you off today?" Because it's so bizarre that I'm just able to come and go whenever I want to come and go. Now, you may not be in that position yet, but think about what has changed. Maybe you're going to convention, or maybe you're going to our event that's coming up. Let me give you guys that link. This is important. Live the Dream event.
Huge event in August.
Yep. So livethedreamevent.com. Maybe you're getting on the plane, or some of them are saying they lost sound. Is that everybody? Let me see if anybody wrote something in the Q&A.
I can hear you.
Okay, let's see. I can hear you too, but sometimes because we're on this side.
Yep.
my friend Tom, I've been joking for Tom DeMeo, don't you, Ed?
Yes.
So I remember I did a rant one day, and I'm like, I know, there's always a chick, and she has on a white bikini, and she's sitting on a rock in the middle of the water with a laptop. And I'm like, who would bring a laptop in the middle of the water? Because this is back, when new laptops were new. I said, and who the hell wears a white bikini? And he's bringing it up in the Because he knows I'm on the white bikini rant is is ridiculous. I think a lot of times too, it's more attractive. You see people, they're out for like their walk or their run and they're ponytailed up with no makeup on. And I think it's more attractive half the time than, when everybody's all dolled up. It's really changed over the years. It used to be, you had to be a certain perfection. And now it's a different sensibility. It's cool. All right. Number 3, if you want to be insanely attractive on the internet, you need to be putting out content and lots of it. Okay.
Absolutely.
When inside of MLSP, we're always teaching you about the power of your content. I dare say, Ed, and I'm not afraid to say it because I've earned it, I am one of the laziest chicks in the space these days. I'm not necessarily working terribly hard, but I did work hard when all of this was starting. And I look at, I think Yelena's on, some other people that are doing their blogs and stuff, they're getting leads every day because they've been very consistent with their content. People are now using the Facebook Live, Periscope, Hangouts, etc. And what it's doing is it's creating a brand for them. And it starts off slow. And it seems like there's a trickle and there's not that much going on. And then all of a sudden, it takes off and you can literally in 90 days become a household name in this space. And it's all about the volume of content. And here, write this down, guys, relevant content. You want to be thinking all day long, what are these guys that, what do my people need? What are these, what are my people struggling with? How can I help them? And then you want to be teaching all the time, giving, ideas, concepts, anything that you've gotten, give it away. Give it away. So what do you think about the content? I know you do a lot of blabs and you're out, in the community talking to people all the time. I know you've met a lot of people there. I don't want to give away your secrets and I won't, but I know you've met a lot of people through that platform.
Absolutely. Here's what it comes down to content. I was just on the phone with someone earlier today and they were like, well, it kind of scares me that I would have to put out content, put out information to attract people, to attract, good quality people. So I just took them through a little exercise, and anyone who's got a piece of paper and a pen that writes, write this down. Ask yourself, how long have you been in and around the industry that you're in? Let's say network marketing, direct sales, or if you're a business owner, you've probably been out to events. So if it's been 3 years, 1 year, 5 years, whatever the case may be, I guarantee you've taken notes. You've been on conference calls, you've taken notes. You've been on webinars, you've taken notes. Just take those notes and regurgitate them. Do a summary of those notes, and then it becomes your content. It's not your original idea. It doesn't have to be. Nobody has an original idea. They've heard it from someone else.
Exactly.
So then that becomes content, and you can put it out there. And for those of you that maybe are brand new to the industry, think about this. Inside of MLSP, there's so much content. Watch 3 webinars a week. Take notes. Your interpretation of those notes become a summary. Turn on your video camera or just do a written blog post and bam, you've got content you're putting out there and it's coming from your voice. And that's the key. As long as it's coming from your voice, you're authentic, boom. Like you said, 90 days. Elena is a rock star. She's a perfect example of that. She's consistent. And because I think Elena just turned 21.
I know.
So she doesn't have the experience you and I have and been to all the events. In fact, she lives in, I think it's Latvia. So she hasn't been to as many events that we have. She's young, but she's putting out the content because she's learning and she's putting her own spin out there. I love it. It's easy.
And it's funny because I watch her. Now we're echoing. I don't know why. And I know what's going to happen. I know what's going to happen to her. I know it. I could promise you what's going to happen to her and anybody else that decides to really get focused with content. And hey, guess what? If you watch the rest of this webinar, you're going to have 7 topics. You could do 7 pieces of content. Put it in your words, your spin on it, your idea. I mean, I'm not the first person to tell someone to do content. I'm not the first person to talk about, don't complain or language of kings or get out of the victim state. I'm not the first person to tell somebody to show lifestyle. Ed can attest to that. He's been around longer than me. He knows. I am the first one. All I did was I came here and I decided to compile all of my experience And then I asked Ed if he would come kind of give his experience. We put it all together. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Let's see. You know, it goes with Language of Kings, but it's completely different. Number 4 for me is uplifting and interactive. A lot of people, they'll put something on Facebook and they'll sit and they'll wait and they'll go, well, when is somebody going to like my thing, or when's somebody going to comment on my thing? You know, where are the people? I'm doing it and nothing's happening. Guys, you got to be out there. You got to be, you know, and I'm not talking about spending all day, but we all have mobile now. You know, you're waiting for your kids at the dentist appointment, take your phone, you know, like some pictures, comment on pictures, get involved. It could be on Instagram. It could be anywhere. You got to be out there cheering people on. And guys, have an attitude. Like, I'm always cheering everybody on. My team, not my team. My programs, not my programs. Anybody that has a home business, a small business, anybody that's working towards a goal, anybody that has something great going on, I'm going to cheer for them. And it makes you insanely attractive. People always say that. Why are you nice to that person? They're in that other company. And I'm like, so? You know, who they're in the space. We're all together, you know, but it's always the same. I always cheered for every kid on on softball. If you're uplifting and interactive, and if you move around and connect with people, then what will happen is people will want to be around you. They're going to come over to your content because you have to love them first, basically. If you want to be loved and you want to be attractive and you want to have people coming to you and asking you, hey, how do I work with you? How do I hang out with you? You have to love them first. What do you think, Ed?
Absolutely. Reaching out to people and being active, little bits of time throughout the day, and making those comments, but don't just say, cool. Don't just say, that's nice. It's got to be something meaningful. And when you put some effort into a comment, you'll be surprised. People will come right back to your page, or in this case, talking about Facebook, they'll comment. Instagram, they'll comment. If you really are sincere, put some thought into it. And when you do, watch what happens. It comes right back to you.
And guys, don't do it because you have an agenda or because you're trying to get people to like something. Do something like, people will see me, I'll just gush. I'll see something that I love, you know, whether it's a picture of a baby or a puppy or a cute pair of shoes or something. And because it's authentic, that's what makes people attracted back to me. And if something's not attractive to me, you know, if I don't like something, I'll either walk right by it or sometimes I'll chime in. It depends, but constructively, not negatively. You know, people get into fights on Facebook. That's always fun to watch. I know you've seen it. I've seen it. It's like, really? But having a good discussion, like there's a couple of people, they're rabble rousers on the net. They like to get things going, but it's on a high level. It's not on a negative level. So yeah, I'll disagree with someone. I do it, you know, regularly, but it's sincere. It's just like if I were sitting around with my friends and having a cup of coffee and somebody said something that I disagreed with, I respectfully will disagree. But don't go out and comment and like for the sake of trying to get people to see your stuff. Go out and comment and like and interact because you're trying to build up relationships within your community. And that's exactly what builds your community. People go, how come so many people like you? How come so many people follow you? How come, you know, you'll say something, you know, you'll sneeze and you'll get 100 likes. Well, because I've probably given out 10,000 likes and 10,000 comments to get the 100.
Right.
And that's investing in your community and investing in the environment around you. And it's the same as, you know, around your neighborhood. You know, I grew up in New York City. I know you grew up in the area. You know, if you're walking down the street and there's some garbage in front of somebody's house, pick it up. They don't need to know. But if you're invested in your community and your neighborhood, then other people will be invested too. And if they see some kids vandalizing or some garbage or something, they're going to do the same. It's a commitment.
And it has to be an investment that's consistent over time. You got to plant the seeds. You got to make those comments consistently. You can't just make a comment once or twice and then expect stuff to happen. You got to just be out there on a regular basis, planting those seeds, engaging with people, and it will come back to you. Just takes time.
It does. But what's neat about it is why are we echoing again? It's fun and pleasant time. It's, you know, it's not like grinding, you know, you're not like digging ditches or anything. You're loving on people. And it's pretty cool. So let's go to number 4 or number 5. We're up to number 5. And guys, I see some of your questions have come in and I'll do them at the end unless I see something jump out at me that needs to be, you know, covered right at a particular moment. communication, if you want to be completely and totally irresistible on the internet, all your communication needs to be prospect focused or other people focused. A lot of people are talking about themselves or talking about the thing they want to sell or the event they want to get you to, where people who are really irresistible are very aware of the struggles of other people, very aware of the challenges that other people are having, very aware of celebrating other people. You'll see pros are always celebrating one another, whether we're working together or not, when we see somebody has hit something really great. Everything is very other people focused. Now, that doesn't mean, because wait a minute, Diane, you said to show lifestyle, but if I show my lifestyle, isn't that not other people focused? So I know this is a little sounds like it's contradicting, but it's not, because the reason I show lifestyle is to inspire the other person who's not sure they can do this, that they can.
That is possible.
Inspire the other mom that it's possible to be home with their kids, or inspire that family that it's possible to pay off their debt. We used to be in a lot of debt. So when I say things like, I can't believe I'm sitting in first class. I remember when I couldn't pay my electric bill. I'm so thankful. It's actually very prospect focused, because somebody else is sitting in debt dreaming of flying in first class. So we want to be very focused when we're promoting. We want to promote how what we have will solve someone's problems versus how it will solve my problem. Tomorrow night, Ray Higdon's coming out. And I'm watching, and this is not criticism, but a lot of people are just slamming up his picture and going, come see Ray Higdon, come see Ray Higdon. That doesn't solve anyone's problem. What solves someone's problem is writing a great headline or piece and talking about why what he's teaching will help you.
How it'll impact their life. Exactly.
So everything's like that, how, like I just told you about the Deep Abyss. The Deep Abyss is my mastermind, and it's my product, it's $25. It's not like it's expensive or anything, but I didn't talk about how it's going to make me happy, because I love doing the Deep Abyss. It's very fulfilling to me. But I talked about what it could do for people who are watching. So we need to make sure that we really shift our focus from what we want to have happen to what people are looking for. That's what makes it irresistible, because people are always like, you care so much. Well, it's because the focus of the communication is all on them. And it's just like when we're dating, when we meet someone, and, I've been married many moons, so have you. But remember when you first met each other, everything was about them. Everything was about them. And we both have long, strong marriages. Is probably because we try to keep a big part of that, focused on our partner. So, right.
I would say happy life, happy wife, happy life.
Well, you also like her breakfast every morning. And I think that that's very important, that you talk how good her food is. So I want to come over just because it looks good, man.
I know, right? She is amazing. Loves to cook.
So do you agree that prospect focus, and by the way, this is not just online. When we sit with a prospect, we talk to them, we want to find out what they're struggling with or what their challenge is, so that we can show them how what we have can solve their problem, not what we have and you should get what we have. It's always what's got you looking for a home business, or, oh, you have a home business, but you're not getting, as many recruits as you want, or you have a small business, but you'd like to use, internet marketing. Tell me about what you're looking to accomplish. So few people ever ask that question or talk about in their posts about what the other person is looking to accomplish. And that makes it big.
I'd like to say the reason why most people aren't is because the prospects in a bubble, their mindset is their struggle, their challenges, and they usually can't see it the way you see it, being an outsider looking in. So you have a responsibility to really get them out of that mindset by showing them something that's positive, a different way that can help them. And when you do that, at first, some people don't get it. That's why it takes a second look or a third look or a fourth look before the prospect finally, something hits them that day. They woke up on that right side of the bed. And then even though you've said it before or shown it before, boom, it hits them. So that's what you have to understand when you're putting stuff out there. People are in that bubble, and their struggle is real. Their challenges are real. There might be lots of layers of that onion before you can actually get to, inside their heart, which is ultimately what you're trying to do.
Yeah. So if we look at it the same way, if you were talking to a prospect, you might have to talk to them a couple times. When you're on the internet, it's those individual exposures of your content and of your posts and of your lifestyle things and your videos and your live streams. And so we just really need to, sometimes they don't even know what they're looking for.
Right.
So we need to talk from their perspective about what might be helpful to them. And then they go, oh my gosh, that's it.
Yep.
So it's just really talking from the perspective of their wants, needs, desires, etc.
Yep.
And usually needs are the ones, usually wants are the ones that get them. It's never the needs. We all I need to be doing certain things right now in my life. It's when I want something that I magically figure out how to get it done.
People buy what they want, not what they need.
Yep. And we could do a whole webinar on that. We could go all day on it. Now, here's another one and again, these are my perspectives, guys. I'm the top affiliate here at My Lead System Pro, and it's just my perspective. Some of you guys, and what I love is we're professional marketers. So some of you may agree, some of you may disagree. Some of you may think, well, so-and-so said, don't do that. And you're saying, do it. And which one do I do? Guys, I want you to really think like a professional, like a practitioner. Okay. And I want you to figure out, well, what feels good for me based upon my time frame, my experience level, etc. What I don't want you to do is get into, you have to do it because Diane said, or maybe Ed will disagree with me on this one. I think this one might be the one that's a little controversial, but I don't think it really is. I think it's 2016. So my number 6 is that you're multi-channel based. What does that mean? We should all have a platform on the internet that we're using as kind of our primary home base. For me, it's Facebook. How about you, Ed?
Facebook, absolutely.
Yeah, Facebook. And I could go on all day about why I choose Facebook as my platform of choice.
Same here.
But what I have done is made myself visible across other platforms, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Snapchat, etc. I hate LinkedIn. Don't ask me to go in there. We can talk about that another day too. I hate LinkedIn. Don't ask me to go in there. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. How do you really feel about it, Diane? I hate it. You don't have to hate it. I hate it.
Diane, tell us how you really feel.
So what I've done is I've created an account across all of the platforms. Now, I personally use my name. You may have a name like John Smith or something. Like Ed Zimbardi is probably not so hard.
Right.
But John Smith or something, maybe it has to be John Smith Online or something like that. I've used the same name across all the platforms. And while I haven't necessarily focused heavily on all of the platforms and building up huge followings, what naturally happens is that the people start to follow us from place to place. It's just like if you were out in town and you go to the coffee shop and you run into John, and then you're in CVS or Walgreens or whatever, and you run into him again. It's because we're at different venues in town that people frequent. Maybe I go to, like in my town, I'm not a huge Walmart fan. I'm probably in there 4 times a year, right? So, but I'll go in CVS, which is a pharmacy. I'm in CVS 3 times a week. It's right down the street. So I might run into you in CVS a lot, or at the post office or something, more often than I run into you at Walmart. But I'm still in town and I'm still running into you wherever I'm running into you. So it's the same with the cross platforms. The reason why I like being visible on all the platforms, even if I'm not focusing on them, is because it makes people go, oh, there's Ed again. I like that Ed guy. That Ed guy's good. Oh, I saw that thing Ed said. Or it also makes them notice you more because they're seeing you more often. You become more familiar. Familiarity is attractive.
Absolutely.
Write that down, guys. Familiarity is attractive. When you become familiar to people, you become safer to people. And they feel more comfortable with reaching out and talking to you or responding to you or jumping on your list, etc. So I like being on cross channels. I also like giving people the flexibility to contact me, in the place that they're most comfortable. So am I saying, just to be clear, because I know some of the other mentors are teaching you focus on one thing, and I would say the same thing. Pick the platform that's going to be your primary place. I think Facebook is the strongest of all for a bunch of reasons, but pick the platform that's going to be your primary place where you're going to post most of your content, etc. But then you can set up content so that it will go out to other places and or let everybody know where else they can find you. For example, Snapchat is a completely different way for people to message me or talk to me than is Facebook or anywhere else. It's a different vibe, and different people are going to be comfortable in different things. Like one couple that we hang out with might want to go out and, tuxedos and tails and gowns, and another one might want to wear sweatpants and go running in the park. I just meet them where they are. I just hang out with them in the way that they're comfortable. So cross-channel, controversial, not controversial, you guys decide. But I like being everywhere, and I like being consistent everywhere, because a lot of people, they have one name over here, one name. I don't know who they are. And they're writing to me like I should know who they are. And I'm like, who are, Mr. Hottie Big Cash? I don't know who Hottie Big Cash is. And it takes me like, 10 minutes to figure out, oh, it's just Ed. Because I know you go by Hottie Big Cash over
all the time.
I know you do, yeah. Yo. It's his alter ego.
I go by just about anything, as long as you don't call me late for dinner. You can call me.
I knew that was coming. Oh! Especially with Brenda's cooking. You got to be there, man.
Gotta get my eat on. But in addition to being consistent and having profiles set up on all the different platforms, if you focus on one from a marketing standpoint to really brand yourself, put yourself out there, your content, and like you said, that one little nugget in there, syndicate it, push it out to the other platforms. But the other big thing is make sure your profile picture is consistent on all the platforms so that people don't have to figure out who you are. If you put a picture that's, 30 years old, when you were a kid, and I did that back in 2006, I was like, yeah, I'm going to put up my old picture. Maybe I'll connect with some of my old high school friends. I mean, that was wrong, the wrong way to do it.
I just like when you go to events and you meet someone and you're like,
Yeah, I'm looking at it. The eyes look familiar, but your face changed.
There's your voice seems familiar.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, don't worry about the way you guys look, guys. Definitely be you. Be who you are today. It's good. That's happened to me a lot, Ed. I'll go to an event and somebody come running over and hugging me and kissing me, and I'm like, who the hell is this? And it's somebody I know pretty well from online, but their pictures are 20 years old.
Yep.
That's so funny. Now I have to admit, I'm guilty. We're echoing it. I don't always use the same picture on every platform, but I have like 4 or 5 ones that are my main ones, my iconic ones. And so it's one of those, but I have to admit they're not the same on every single platform. And that's probably because I'm lazy.
Well, you know that. You established that earlier, and that's okay. We all have our flaws, right?
That's one of my flaws. So I'm saying Ed's right. If you have a consistent look and a consistent feel across platforms, it's a lot easier for people to find you. And I'm just delinquent in that area. It's not because he's incorrect. He's 100% correct. It's because I'm lazy. So yeah.
It's all good.
We got one more, and then we'll take some Q&A. I think this one is the most important thing I could teach you. It's something that you have to get comfortable with. It's something that will change your career forever if you do it. And that's being a master inviter. Okay, guys, I'm not a master salesman, not a master closer, not a master pitch guy, but an inviter. If you learn how to interact on these different channels and you learn how to have fun and show your lifestyle and create content and be uplifting and interactive, and you learn how to be prospect focused, and you're able to do all this, then you turn around. And how many times, somebody in the chat tell me, how many times have I invited you to something on this call? No, I don't know the exact number, but I've invited you already to multiple things. Can anybody tell me in the chat, what did I invite you to? And we'll give that a minute to come up. On Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, we have the ability to, Rain said a lot. She's been hanging out with me. We have the ability, oh, wow, everybody says a lot. They must be really all hanging out with me. I invited you to the Deep Abyss. I invited you to Wednesday night. I mumbled about the Guru Code. And I'm not done yet because I could keep going and keep inviting you. But you notice how it didn't feel yucky because I'm so comfortable with inviting. Inviting is not selling. Let's all be clear. Inviting is not selling. Inviting is just inviting. It's just saying, hey, we're all hanging out on a webinar tomorrow night. Hey, Ed's doing a blab at 3. Why don't you come hang out with us? Hey, we have a webinar. You know what? The MLSP Hangouts Tuesday at 3, it's going to be, you know, Burt Bledsoe or whoever. Hey, you know, we have this going on. Hey, have you seen this free training on Instagram? You know, hey, here's a cool. So if you were to watch my walls and my different feeds, I invite. You know, Amparo said she's waiting for me to invite her to a cruise. Amparo, you have no idea. Jillian almost didn't get to come. We're going on a cruise in a couple weeks. And Jillian almost thought she didn't have vacation, and I was going to invite someone. I didn't know who. This is like a very swanky, big suite and all this other stuff. And I was like, okay, who am I going to invite? It has to be somebody fun. So Amparo, you were on the short list. You just didn't know. So there you go. Yeah, the wake up call. Hey, so-and-so Brian's talking today. You got to meet.
The invite to Live the Dream also earlier.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But there you go. There's another one.
Oh.
Now, you guys notice I was just like inviting. So whether it's verbal, whether it's on, you know, if you're making a video at the end, invite people to your email list. You know, always be inviting. And when you become comfortable and casual about it, nobody feels pushed or pressured. You know, most people are running around going, you have to come, you have to come, you have to come. And I'm always like, hey, Ray's talking tomorrow night. You might want to come. Master inviter. And it's just very comfortable because I know I'm going to invite so many times that I don't really have to worry about convincing anyone. Because if I invite enough, I'm going to get eyeballs. I don't have to worry. And you just want to practice it, and you want to include it in, put up a fun picture and say, hey, we're all getting together at 9 o'clock. Hey, this is going on. Hey, we have a great, training on this and that. Your system campaigns in the MLSP back office alone, for those of you that are members, your system campaigns alone give you 22 things to invite people to on a weekly basis. It's really easy once a week to say, hey, have you learned about, pixels,
Retargeting.
Yeah. Have you learned about, how those ads seem to be following you around? I have a cool little training on that. If you want it, let me know. That's an invite. And invitations, when you invite in simple ways, you become much more comfortable with inviting to your opportunity presentation. And it becomes a vicious cycle of success, a snowball of skill. Oh, I like that. Snowball of skill. And all of a sudden you just come to a place where it's ease and flow, because it's invitation.
Becomes natural.
Mm-hmm. And the reason
natural.
Mm-hmm. And the reason why it makes you irresistible is because people feel that there's no anxiety around it. Being a master inviter is when you don't have anxiety. And somebody who's real comfortable in their own skin and real comfortable inviting, like when a guy, and I always go back to dating, if a guy comes over and he's confident and he asks you out, you're much more likely to go. Or he says, hey, what are you doing Friday night, Friday afternoon? Love to get coffee after work. And he says it confidently. You're much more likely to go, ladies, than you would be with somebody that's like stammering and then trying to convince you that he's going to take you to the best coffee place in all of New York, and they have the best coffee, and they have biscotti, and the biscotti's so good, and there's 7 flavors of biscotti, and he's trying to convince you to go to coffee with him, when really all it is coffee. It's just a webinar. There's going to be another one next week. Do you want to come? It's no big deal, and the only way to get there is to practice, but you will become insanely irresistible if you become a master inviter. What do you think, Ed?
Absolutely, because in your example of that person with the coffee, you can sense as the way the person's inviting in that hysterical way that you were just saying, you're not even thinking about the coffee. You're just thinking, I don't even want to be around this person.
Right.
Even though the coffee is the best coffee house in the world and it tastes great. So the art of inviting is one of the master skills. If you can, if you really get that down, everything else takes care of itself, especially here with MLSP, with the system campaigns, the products. It's phenomenal.
Yeah. We have hundreds of things for you to invite to.
Absolutely.
And that's what's cool. It'll allow you to generate leads for free or paid, but the invitation is a free process. It'll allow you to create cash flow for free. It'll allow you to, have residual income, with different things for free. So it's really neat. So let's go through a couple of questions. I don't know why we're echoing. I don't know. We'll try to lessen it. Where do we share our lifestyle? On our profile page or our fan page? I'm going to start that one, and then Ed, you can give your thoughts on it too. Guys, I want you to understand, because a lot of people are so confused about profiles and fan pages, and they've heard a lot of things. This is the way I explain it. It's real simple. If you had a brick and mortar business, your business would be somewhere physical. Like let's say you had a hair salon, okay? And it's at 123 Main Street, okay? That's like your fan page because it's your physical business. Okay. But then let's say there was a Chamber of Commerce mixer on Friday afternoon and you wanted to go down a network and let everybody know about your business and what's going on in your business. You personally would go down to the mixer. You can't like pick up your store and take it with you. So that's your profile. You're the profile and the actual business is the fan page. So I can absolutely network on my profile, but I don't want to be putting like, there's a coupon 2-for-1 shampoo today. Because one, it's against Facebook, Facebook policies. You're not supposed to be trying to do business on a profile. But I'm not going to take shampoo down to the mixer, the chamber mixer either, and like have bags of shampoo and going, hey, step right up, 2-for-1 special. So on our profile, we're networking. Of course, we can show our lifestyle there because that's our life. Just like I could talk about my hair salon with whoever I'm networking with. And then our business itself is where we share a lot of business information. So lifestyle can go on both because it's not hardcore buy my stuff type of ads or anything like that. Do you agree?
Yeah, keep your hardcore business stuff off the personal profile, but a little bit more lifestyle on the personal profile than on the business. Yeah, a little bit on the business page, but mostly you want to do 90% of it on lifestyle on the personal page. You'll have so much better results. Now, there may be some unique instances, somebody, everything's different. So I like to always tell people when they have questions, which is better, this or that? I always say test. You don't necessarily, you said it earlier in this Hangout, that some people say, well, so-and-so said to do this, so that's gospel. No, you should filter that. You should test it. And if you're comfortable with it, do it. So in that particular case, test it.
Yeah, exactly. And the profile, remember, you can't advertise via a profile. You can only advertise via a page, which would be the same. Like you wouldn't run an ad for, Sally's for Sally, but you'd run an ad for Sally's beauty shop. So, I think that you're good to go with, on your profile, just make sure it's like friendlier, easier. It's more you personally, but don't try to separate. A lot of people are trying to like make believe they don't have a business. Sally, the beauty salon owner, is Sally, the beauty salon owner. She doesn't feel like she has to make believe she doesn't have a beauty salon when she's out in public, So, okay, let's see. How do you leverage Snapchat in terms of relevant content? Examples.
Whew.
Right. I think it's the same as any place else. It's just a matter of its short snippets. I mean, if you're watching some of the, Aaron Parker is taking the lead in My Lead System Pro with Snapchat and being the Snapchat guy. If you just subscribe to some great marketers and watch their Snapchat content, Snapchat, you don't want to be selling, but you can promote on Snapchat. So if you're, sharing, here's a tip or here's an idea or here's something I'm doing today for my business, etc., you certainly can turn around and say, come on down, do that invite, right? The art of the invitation, come on down to the webinar tonight. We'll be hanging out with Ray, etc. But what you don't want to be doing is pushy on Snapchat. Because what you have to remember about Snapchat, guys, and again, go watch Aaron's trainings, but let me grab my phone for a minute. And let me show you something. On Snapchat, you might be recording little snippets throughout the day. Let's say you record something at 8 and you record something at 10 and something at 12 and so on. Most people are going to watch your content at one time, which means that you have to be able to make sure that what you can't see it, what you recorded throughout the day kind of integrates. Because what I'm seeing is people let's say tomorrow we have the webinar with Ray. Somebody will get on and they think they're talking every 2 hours. So they go on Snapchat and at 8 o'clock, they go, you got to come to see Ray. At 10 o'clock, they go, you got to come to see Ray. At 12 o'clock, they say, you got to come to see Ray. At 2 o'clock, they say, you got to come see Ray. At 4 o'clock and so on. So they think that they weren't too pushy because it was hours apart. but I'm going to watch it all at one time. And all I see is you 7 times saying, you got to come hang out with Ray. That's when it gets awkward. So it's really important. Big tip I would give to you guys is always think from the perspective of the viewer or the reader or the listener of whatever you're doing. That's the secret. It's always be in their shoes and think about it. When they see this, what will the experience be for them? And that will help you determine what becomes relevant on different platforms. Are you using Snapchat much yet or not yet?
Very little, done a few. Mostly I've, instead of taking my masterpiece dishes that my wife does for me food-wise, I'm now talking about how great I'm excited I am about to eat that food. So I see Snapchat for me personally, because everybody's doing it differently. I see it for me as being, letting people a little bit more behind the scenes of what I have going on in my life, my personal life, being a little bit more authentic. And I know that, Caesar, Aaron, they're crushing it, which is awesome. So, as I learn more about it and take the time to invest in it, I'm sure I'll expand into it and move it more for business. But I just like to do it because my 10-year-old daughter and my 14-year-old daughter are on it, and they actually had to show me how to use it.
That's how I learned. That's why I've been on it for quite a while, because my daughters would Snapchat me stuff. And I'd always say, I would like, because they're 20 and 23, I want visible evidence that you're alive. Like if you're out late, let me know you're out late and give me visible evidence that you're alive. So they'll take a crazy picture on Snapchat. And that was my visual evidence that you're alive. So, because you figure if they were doing something wrong, I would be able to tell from the picture because I have mom radar. Guys, I use Snapchat a lot for personal stuff. I haven't done a lot of broadcasting on it, the stories, tremendously, because I'm all over in other places. But I do use it, Ed, a lot, and I think you'll like it this way too. I'm just looking through all my contacts and thinking, like, who did I notice? Like, let's say you hit L4. Let's say we weren't close, but, I know you. And you're on my contacts. I might send you a personal message on there to just say, hey, I just saw you hit L4. That's huge. Congratulations. So I'm doing a lot more personal touches with Snapchat than the stories and the broadcasts at this juncture. I just like it that way. I think it's very intimate versus, somebody saying it on Facebook, big and in public is one thing, and somebody actually taking the time to say to you, that's huge. There's something special about it, I think. So.
Yeah, my wife can't get up the stairs because of her broken ankles. And my daughter's rooms are upstairs, so she uses Snapchat and tells them, you got to do a Snapchat video of your room. I told her to clean it because in the past, I'd have to take a picture and send it. Because she couldn't get up, and so now she uses Snapchat for that. So
Snapchat funny. Inspection, I like it.
Yeah,
that's really good. Chris Spriggs, I don't understand what you said. I don't know whether you typoed. Maybe try to rewrite that again because I'm not clear. Deb, I think that Deb's asking about using names, her name across the platform. If your name is Deb Bennett and one of them is Deb Bennett online because you couldn't get Deb Bennett, that's fine. As long as it's identifiable. Like I said, some people are hottie quick cash over here and they're, show me the money over here and they're this over there. So every platform, they're different and then they're using different pictures. So it's very hard to figure out who they are. And what we want is name and facial recognition. We want the marketplace to go, that's Ed. So when I said I use a couple different pictures, I do, but everybody can tell it's me. I'm not using a picture with a mask on and, like I wouldn't use this picture as my, I wouldn't use that because that wouldn't make sense. They wouldn't identify me easily. Number 7, Jewel is asking, what is number 7? Number 7 is to become a master inviter and be able to invite across the platforms. Let's see. Do I still call my leads? Andre, I don't. Many do. And Ed does. And in fact, Ed is, very traditional and I'm not traditional anymore. But I will tell you that I am able to get the same result because of the skill sets that I've developed. Do I think you need to learn to call and talk to people? You do. And I did. One of the wonders of attraction marketing and having a big list is you're really able to sort through people and not talk to everybody, talk to, the people that the list shakes them for you. And pops out the ones that you should be talking to. So it's not that I don't talk to people. I just don't call random people until I have a reason to. Tonight, I think Ray's going to be talking about some, prospecting stuff and calling people and how to change your mindset about how you're approaching them. We have a lot of great training on all of that. And I think until you're in a position, this is what I always say, if you wanted to recruit tomorrow, what would you have to do? Do you have enough people that are following you that if you said, I'm looking to sign 3 people this week, would they pop out of thin air? And if you're not in that position yet, then you need to be calling people. It just is. And I did it. I did cold leads. I did warm leads. I did, there was a time period where I did a call, mail, email sequence every single day. I had leads and I would call them, I would email them, and I would send them a postcard. 30 people a day, clockwork. I was making gobs of money because it just snowballed, but I was so consistent. And that's the secret, consistency. Today, I don't really need to. I can recruit on demand. I mean, I could go right now on Facebook right now. I'm going to work with 3 people, apply to work with me, and they would. But that's the result of, a lot of work.
Seed you planted, absolutely.
Yep. You can market, you can invite on either page. It depends on how you're doing it. I would not write up, I would not go on my personal profile and write a big salesy, pitchy thing. Like today for this webinar, if you go look at my wall right now, my Facebook's Diane Hochman, what a surprise. You could look and it just said 3, I had the graphic for today's webinar. And if I had known Ed and I were going to do it, I would have made one with both of us next time, Ed. Or maybe you'll be the big picture and I'll be the little picture. But all I said was 3 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. London time, ! In the link. I didn't go, you need to come. It's going to be incredible. Ed Zimbardi, Diane Hochman, we're going to solve it. If I'm going to do something more aggressive, I'm going to go run an ad over on my fan page. So, but I'll invite on my profile too. What is my suggestion? Relinking my profile page to my fan page. Rita, I'm not sure I understand the question. Can you give me a little bit more stuff? And Jewel, we only had 7 tips, so Master Inviter couldn't have been 8 because there are only 7. Let me read them real quick. That you speak the language of kings, no complaining and belly aching, that you show your lifestyle, that you're constantly putting out content, that you're uplifting and interactive, that you're prospect focused, that you're multi-channel based, and you're a master inviter. So those would be them. Leanne wants to know, and I'm going to embarrass you now, Leanne. Leanne Levy, last year I'm wearing my mastermind retreat sweatshirt, Ed. See, nice. They give us nice, they are quite cozy. Last year we had this cool cabin. We just got back a couple weeks ago, and we had this particular cabin, and out in the back there was like a big covered patio, and there was a big pole, and somehow the MLSP young ladies started dancing with the pole because the boys were too busy playing beanbag toss that none of them would dance with us. So Leanne wants to know if Dancing Cash Queen, pole dancing Cash Queen would be a good brand. And I would say, Leanne, it would be for a different business, but for what you're doing at this particular moment, again, if you hang around long enough, there's inside jokes. At this particular moment, I would not go with that. But anyway, although on Snapchat, you probably could do okay.
Oh yeah.
Rebecca, I do not have a network marketing business at this moment. I was in a network marketing company for 14 years. And then another program that I was involved with, I was the #2 recruiter and the #2 retailer and #3 recruiter. But that company did merge with another company, and I didn't go over, and I decided to focus on what I do today, which is mostly training and consulting. So would I, if I had a network marketing business at this moment, would I be promoting it? Of course I would. Of course, because that's the whole point. I'm attracting people through what they want. Here, guys, this is the nutshell. Attract people through what they want, build a relationship with them, and then show them what you have that could help them get more of what they want. That's the secret. You bring them with what they want, whether it's more leads, whether it's tips, whether it's, whatever it is they're looking for help with. You attract them through that, and then have a relationship with them. And then in your conversations, you're able to figure out whether your residual income opportunity or products or services might help them get what they want. And then you show them the ones that would be appropriate. So I wouldn't go out and scream, join my network marketing company. What I would do is offer training, content, etc. They become a lead. I get on the phone with them or email or message with them and talk to them and find out what they're looking for and see if they're open to taking a look at what I have. That's the secret. That's the thing. And it's much easier to get people to come that way than it is to talk about network marketing opportunities, simply because most of them have one already. You know, they may be dissatisfied. That's why they're looking for change. But what else? Okay. When using video marketing, should you put every video you do into my blog, or can I just leave some videos just on YouTube and not put them on the blog? That depends on what you want on your blog, Chris. And I'm not being flippant. I mean, if you have if you have videos that are good for the blog, put them on the blog. There's some videos that are more promotional in nature and you don't want them on the blog, don't put them on the blog. Just depends. Right, Ed? I mean, do you have, I have
what
some
the content is, what the objective is. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, sometimes I put something out on Facebook that I don't put on my blog. Sometimes I put, I could upload it to YouTube and embed it on my blog. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. What we're worried about here more than anything is the consistency and getting stuff out and getting it seen. Mr. Lopez would like a shout out to his grandson, Jaden. Jaden, what's up? Another New York City buddy. Joseph Lopez, my friend, my union man buddy, and Jaden. And I need to know, you need to give me a picture, Joe, on Facebook. Tag me. I need to see Jaden. I need to see this young man. I'm sure he's good looking like his grandpappy. So, okay. Curious, there are platforms for sending out text messages to masses, and I know we want to be in front of everybody, but would you use text message marketing to keep up with your list? Okay, Andre, there's a lot of new things out there, and we're only going to go to 4:30, and then we're going to wrap it up because the good questions are coming in now, but I don't want to get too far off on tangents. I would use any way to communicate with my base that suits me and suits them. Like right now, we're seeing that there's push notifications becoming available. Do you guys know what push notifications are? You can get them, like an app will tell you when you've gotten news or information. And then also desktop notifications. I could send out a desktop notification and tell everybody that there's a new blog post on my blog. So that's a new way. And then of course, text messaging. If you go to my blog, you'll see that I have, if you put in your mobile number, I do have the ability to send everybody who puts in a number a text. So text, I don't think there's any free services out there right now, or if they are, they're not so great. It's generally, a pay to play type of thing. So if you have the budget and you want to text people right before an event, a reminder or something, I think it's valuable. I think that, anytime that you can communicate with people in a way that's not irritating or bothersome to them, because a text, it's hard to create value in a text. It's usually just an invite. So they really have to be willing to get those invites. And if they like them, that's fine. But, I get messages and texts all the time from all these stores and stuff. And most of the time I'm just like, but I keep it because sometimes they send me out a coupon or something and that gives me value. So I keep it. Right. So the question is always, how am I going to provide enough value that this person won't be annoyed with my communication? And if you can figure that out, then I think texts are great. I mean, MLSP uses them. A lot of leaders use them. I have access to them. I tend not to use them as much, but if it's important, I will. Just because it's going to cost me to text my list, it's going to cost me $100. Not that I don't have $100 to spend, but I have to decide, is there $100 of value to me in sending out that text? Who do you get to do your logos or your header on your blog? I would use Fiverr.com, Ginny, Fiverr.com. Ask in the My Lead System Pro community if you're a member. Ask if anybody has a good Fiverr person. There's tons of people that have good people over there. So there's also people that, do it professionally. It's a bit more expensive, but if you're just starting out, I would stick with something not too expensive. You can always change your header. You can always change your logo. But lots of people doing that. Easily. Randy Sprung, this is the last question. Ask invite with or without a link. Depends on the medium and where. I always want to make it easy for people, but I don't want to be pushy. So if I'm putting it on my wall to tell people there's a webinar in a little bit, I'm going to put up the link, because before the webinar, I don't have time to respond to everybody. You know, there are times where I'll say, if you want to hear about something, let me know. Just depends. Ed, how do you do that when you're promoting? Do you usually just throw up the link, or?
Yeah, put the link in there.
Yeah. See, because a lot of people say you can't put up links, it's spam. No, it depends on where. If you're in a group where it's appropriate to put up an offer, or a link, or an invite, it's not spam, it's not a problem. On your own personal wall, you can put up whatever you want. People have the right to leave whenever they want. In your own emails, you have the right to send them out whatever you want. Again, they have the right to unsubscribe.
So here's the thing too, most people are on mobile, right? Mobile devices. So putting that link in there and having them click on it, it's a natural thing. I think links really should be put in there.
I agree. I agree. Now, if I'm talking to someone personally, like on Messenger or something, I might say something. I'll throw a hook, you know, I'll throw a fishing hook in with some bait on it. And I might say, hey, well, you know, if you're around at 3 o'clock today, you know, me and my buddy Ed, you know, between the two of us, I want to say that we have so much experience, but it makes us sound old. But between the two of us, we kind of, you know, we've been around the block and we're doing a webinar. It might be helpful to you. Let me know if you want to come, which would be an invite, right?
Right.
You know, if I'm talking to someone personally and it's not appropriate to just drop a link, I'll invite and see if they want to come. Then I'll give them the link. But if I'm on social media, I'm gonna put the link out. Because otherwise I don't have time to. I mean, it's just really personally my time. I don't have time to respond to. I'll put it out because I've worked on social media for so long. I'll put it out and 150 people want the link. And I have to write everybody back. I do that sometimes with emails, and I always want to kill myself when I do it. But you know what, Jessica, I'm not going to do your question right now. Not to be rude, but it's kind of off the topic. But I think Ray might be covering some of that tomorrow night. Again, it's weeklymarketingwebinars.org. If you guys aren't registered, I'm telling you, you want to register. You just really want to come to this webinar. It's totally worth it. For those of you that might be in the UK or in Europe, we'll have a replay for you. Ask the person that invited you here. How do you do a shortened link for a website? Ginny, if you log in, I'm thinking you're a member. If you are a member, log into your back office and under My Content, there's a place to create a custom link and follow. Just hit the button to toggle for directions, and it'll show you how to make a custom link that will track your clicks and will shorten it up. And that's one of the features of MLSP that a lot of people don't know exists. It's wonderful because you can make a custom link for any page on the internet. But when the people click on it, they actually get a cookie for MLSP, and they get tagged to you. So if they go buy something before they click on somebody else's link, you would get credit for the sale if you're an affiliate. So it's kind of a neat little feature that we have there. We have a lot of features back there, guys. You should look. We have video hosting. I see people all the time. They don't use the video hosting. They don't realize it's there. There's custom links. There's, you know, obviously our funnelizer. You can create your own custom funnels. So we have, you know, we got the tools. We got the, you know, the toolkit. We got the good stuff. So
the tools, resources, and education that is outstanding.
That's it. We wouldn't be here. Two old pros like us, we would not be here.
You know, on that note, Diane, you know, it's been 15, 16 years now since I've been focusing on generating leads. And one of my companies, internet companies, we took public several years ago. And I got to tell you, hiring a copywriter, web designer, programmer, IT person, an email specialist as well, even though some of them were outsourced and some of them were in-house, that was a fortune to run a huge, successful company. So when I reconnected with you back in December and you showed me the entire platform and everything that was in it, and then it was just, you know, a 10-day trial, but based on our credibility, I was like, I got to check this out. You know, I love the video that shows MLSP, mastery, but when you really get inside the back office and you take a serious look at all the components and you walk through them and test them, I was like, I wish I had this 10 years ago. I wish I had this 15 years ago. I wouldn't have had to spend the kind of money that I spent on the programmers, the web designers, the copywriters, none of that tech stuff. And it is really just click, 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 maybe a little bit of configuration stuff here, but the videos that are back there help people along. This is just, everybody in business needs to have this platform.
What I like best about it too is, and I just put up the link, guys, if any of you are not members and you want to take a 10-day test drive and check it out, because that's what I always say to people, you know what, I could show you a big presentation, but the best thing to do is get in there and go through the startup. The training, it's 6 steps. You just get yourself set up and you learn to think a little differently. I like the fact that there's a lot of support. So when somebody gets stuck, they just go over to our Facebook group and go, hey, who knows how to do this? Hey, who knows, like just now the question about logos and stuff. If you just go in the group and you say, you know, who has a good person that does logos and graphics, you're going to get 5, 6 people pop up really quickly to help you. And it's 24 hours a day because there's always somebody awake because we're global. So we've been here for 8 years. You know, we're going on to our 7th, you know, big national event or whatever you want to call it, industry-wide event. We've been doing these training webinars every Wednesday for 8 years, longest standing, you know, continuous webinar and training in the industry. And, you know, we've spawned many of the greatest names in the industry. And it's just a matter of digging in and deciding to become, my word of the week, thank you, Gary V, is practitioner. Deciding to become a professional, deciding to become a practitioner, and little by little learn the skills that make you a total pro. And we also have experts here from all different walks. So whether you're in network marketing, whether you're small business, whether you're affiliate marketing, whether, you know, depending on what your needs are, we have people here that, oh, sorry, I mistyped it. Yeah, I'm a mistyper. You know, we have somebody here, if not more than one person, that has background in that arena. I'm the less technical. I'm more of the online networker. I think Ed fits that, you know, as well. We use the leverage of the internet tools. We use the leverage of social media. We use the leverage of you know, the websites, etc. But we're not probably doing a lot of SEO, probably doing, you know, certain things that are more technical. And then we have other people here that are master, you know, online lead generators, cold market marketers. We have a little bit of everything. You want to learn how to talk to people? We have people that can teach you that. You want to learn how to never have to talk to people? We have people here to teach you that. Although I'd say that that's the long and hard road.
That's hard.
Because you have to become a master copywriter if you want to not have to talk to people. And that's one of my skills. That's why I don't have to talk to them as much. You know, we have people that do everything. So for you guys, you know, plug in and then kind of sample all the different trainers and teachers here. We're going to be hearing a lot more from Ed. You know, he's just moved up into the higher ranks of the company, which means that they're going to be incorporating him. He's already doing blog posts on our great blog, but we're going to be seeing him pulled into different trainings and things. We'll be able to pull all his experience out of him. And guys, it's all included. You know, it's you know, all the trainings are free. They're included. You can come, you can bring people. We actually keep the doors open, you know, because we believe in what we do so much. So that's it. So if you'd like a 10-day test drive, it's Biz Builder Mastery. It's supposed to be .net, I think. You know, I'm like off today. I think .com is one too. They're just different pages.
That's okay.
Everybody's like, oh, you have to be so slick to make a lot of money in the internet. I'm living proof. You really don't. Tomorrow night, guys, if you're not registered, go register right now. Hello, get registered, at least so you get the replay and stuff. That's going to be weekly marketingwebinars.org. And you'll be hearing more about the Deep Abyss. That's going on Thursday night. That's a once-a-month thing. I'm really looking forward to that. And of course, every day at 11 a.m. Eastern, we have a wake-up call, just a mindset call, 15 minutes. Those are available via podcast. So if you're somebody who is working or whatever, you just like to listen to them when you're running or driving or whatever, we have that available. So we have everything soup to nuts covered, from your mindset to your marketing and everything in the middle. So I hope you guys enjoyed 7 concepts about how to become absolutely irresistible. It's always consistency. And when you use these 7 things and you put them together with the internet marketing that you're learning through the system, you're going to be so attractive, people will be beating down your door. And that's really what we're after, is having people coming to you. That is attraction marketing in a nutshell, having people coming to you. And every time I have a student that has that first time, we had one just the other day from the Twister List course. The guy's like freaking out because somebody was like, I want to know about your opportunity. And when people start asking you, your life will change. It's a very, very beautiful thing. Much more fun.
It's a great feeling.
It's awesome. I mean, I love when I get those messages still to this day, you know, or when you learn how to send out an email and you sign up people right then and there, you make so many sales and you just sit home and you go, wow, you know, I sent out one email and I just made 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you know, $100 more, you know, and it's really neat. It's something that will give you the leverage to give you the freedom that you want. And that's what's really cool.
One big thing I want to add, Diane, if I may, real quick, and that is the support of the community.
Yeah.
You know, anybody taking a look at MLSP for the first time or been hanging around and checking out these Hangouts, I got to tell you, once you dive in, you will be just showered with so much support.
Yeah.
Any question you have, if you get stuck, it's really on yourself. There's no reason you would ever stay stuck as long as you reach out and let people know that you have questions, need some support. You get an overwhelming response. And that's what I really love about the community.
It really is. It really is. So we're going to wrap it up today, guys. We'll see you tomorrow night, Wednesday night webinar with Ray Higdon. Brian Finale will be your host. And we'll see you tomorrow morning on the wake up call. Unfortunately, I didn't get a quick chance to see who was doing the call tomorrow morning, but no doubt it's good. And Ed, congratulations. I'm so excited for you. And I know the L5 is around the corner, so you're going to be like running with the honey badgers. Don't ask if you're new. It's a long story, but you'll be running with the honey badgers, and I look forward to that. And for all of you, book your tickets and your rooms and flights for Live the Dream. You got to get there. Amazing event, and both Ed and I will be there, and that's what you got to do. Come over and give us a high five, give us a hug. We're looking forward to seeing you, and everybody have a great day. We'll see you all next time.
Thanks, Diane. See you.
Thanks, Ed.